So for the last 4 years, as Newcastle fans, we've been told the same thing over and over again. That Newcastle have grown financially more than they had the previous season. The commercial revenue has grown, the sponsorship deals have grown, the value of the club has gone up, the global reach has gone up. We're becoming one of the biggest clubs in Europe. We're heading down that path to becoming one of the elites. And then all of a sudden, like that, we have the smallest transfer budget we've had in 4 years. We look less financially flexible than we did after the Mike Ashley era. And what we have to look at is the things we know. The money. What has happened to the money? We've generated huge transfer incomes over recent windows. Alex Isak sold for 135 million. Anthony Gordon for 80 million. Sean Longstaff, £12 million. Lloyd Kelly, £15 million. Martin Dubravka, an undisclosed fee. Realistically, Sean Longstaff, 100% profit on a balance sheet. Lloyd Kelly came in on a free, 100% profit on a balance sheet. Alex Isak and Anthony Gordon doubled the value we paid for them. Not only that, Newcastle have sold the lease on St James's Park to a company linked to the PIF for £60 million. And we've replaced sponsorships and commercial incomes with bigger deals every year. So how have we left ourselves in a position where we are so financially tight after one summer spending last year of 250 million that we're not able to go out and rejuvenate this squad? Because it's not the information we were told by Jamie Rubin at the end of last season when he said, we will be proactive, we will be aggressive, we will be starting a rebuild next season or this summer window. So if everything we're being told is true, where has that financial flexibility gone? And the reason I say is if everything we've been told is true, because what's more confusing is if we're financially this restricted, why have we targeted an £18.5 million backup goalkeeper as our first investment rather than a left back, a right back, a left winger, a central midfielder? We have one left back, one right back, one left winger. Are these not priority areas? Or do we not have the ability to look at a squad and pick out the problem areas? Because as fans, we've known it for 2 seasons. We've known for a couple of years now the problem areas are the same problem areas over and over again. And yet our first investment was in a backup goalkeeper. So it kind of leaves us in a position where you look constantly having players linked away, and this becomes the bigger problem. Because we haven't been aggressive, we haven't been proactive, we haven't shown any ambition in this window so far, that we end up with the likes of Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Lewis Hall, Tino Livramento, Harvey Barnes, all being linked away. These are key players being linked to an exit instead of players that we'll end up building around. And I'm not as naive as to think you don't have to sell. You can just hold on to players for years and years and build around them. I think Newcastle might be that naive. But as fans, we're not that naive to think that selling players is always a bad thing. We know it's not. Rejuvenation is what should have happened season on season at this football club. We should have been looking to move 2 or 3 on per season and bring 2 or 3 in per season. But after 3 transfer windows of 0 spend, going out and blowing 250 million on transfers that realistically so far haven't panned out with Anthony Elanga, Jacob Ramsey, Malik Chow, Nick Voltemada, Johan Wissa. And I'm not saying they're all bad players, but I am saying half of them have very overinflated prices. And if we were shopping at that price point, we've got a real problem. And a lot of this comes down to accountability. So I'm not sitting here as a fan demanding that Newcastle spend 200 to 300 million every summer transfer window. But I am demanding that we take a look at a more sustainable approach, a more efficient approach to how we do our transfer business. And we move on players that have reached their over the peak, and players who have reached that age range where they won't be able to offer and won't be able to play as many games or be as consistent. Your Joe Willocks, your Jacob Murphys, your Dan Burns, your Fabian Schär's, your Nick Popes. This squad is aging out. Even Joel Linton, I'm Joel Linton's biggest fan. I love that guy. But he's at the point in his career where the injuries are becoming more frequent. The performances are becoming less consistent. And Newcastle need to freshen up. It leaves us in a position where you have to ask why this has happened and whether Newcastle have the foresight and who is willing to take accountability for what is happening at the football club, because somebody needs to. And what really makes me struggle to understand this whole situation is, if we're being told the truth and we've been left in the financial situation that supposedly the club is saying we have, in my opinion, how did Eddie Howe keep his job at the end of season summit meeting if we're in this dire financial position after not having a sporting director and supposedly those deals being sanctioned for the players that Eddie Howe wanted and the way it panned out last season? How is Eddie Howe still in a job? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm Adam. This is Two for Joy. Get down there, like and subscribe. We only need 20 more subs to hit the 1,000 mark, so please get involved. I've loved the chat over the last week. As depressing as it is, we're in it together. It'll either be fantastic together or it'll be shit together, but we're in it together. So, like, subscribe, do all the good things, and hopefully, guys, I will see you in the next one.